fire signs right now. It's just going to be a reading I'm doing. I felt like doing some readings for all the elements here. Fire is what I decided on first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do collective fire sign reading, but I'm going to draw one card for each. I'm starting with, it's going to be Sagittarius, Aries, Leo first. And we're going to do I was filling this, and we're going to draw, these are the tarot psychic visions, or visionary tarot, excuse me. Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. So I'm doing these a little bit different right now, but I thought, these are kind of like little bonus readings. I did just do a full moon reading, but it's also it is December now. Geez, time has just flown through November. This is Leo. We'll be looking at those here after I get an overall message with a couple of these oracles. Okay, guys? So we're going to start with, this is a combination of a couple decks here. Whoop. I have this one. Animal Kingdom. I will be reading these oracles. I'm just, I like to read intuitively, but I do find that, and another one from the Cosmic, Sacred Wisdom. I have been feeling this energy of like, collectively, everybody kind of being drawn between this and this owl is has this sacred geometry in the moon phases, and this kind of, to me, represents all of the unseen, but yet felt, kind of the unknown, kind of the stuff that maybe not everybody talks about, that they feel, they see, that sacred wisdom. And then the Animal Kingdom is those very earthly energies that the stuff you can see, the stuff you do know about, like our animal kingdom, about our animal nature, and all the animals here on this earth, and the way we just, it's interesting because there's all these different animals, and each of them have a different way of being, a different energy, a lot of spirit animals in here. The wolf is really popping out on this one for your guys' reading. And the deer was kind of there too in the background, kind of just and I'm feeling like that calming kind of, but yet that really intuitive calming energy. So I don't know if there's just something here. I'm going to read these because I just find that I've been getting a lot of really good messages from reading these with the reading. So we're going to read Animal Kingdom. It says, keep it simple and stay focused. Listen to your instincts. And I was feeling that with that sacred wisdom. When we witness the wonder of the animal kingdom, we become still and present with the natural cycle of life. Animals are loving, brave, and fierce, and live by their instincts. Animals have their own medicine and share its properties with us when we connect to them in spirit. All animals in their natural state are happy and driven with purpose. Right now, the animal kingdom is encouraging you to follow your own path. Living in the present gives us more time during our day because we are not consumed by fears of the future or the past. Resetting you to your natural state of being. Spending time with animals will ground your energy into the present. Getting back to your primal instincts encourages confidence and surety with others as you know where you stand as an individual. Simplicity is called for now. Take a step away from material endeavors. Go back to basics and bare essentials for clarity and peace of mind. Rest. The animals ask you to stay focused and balanced. Spend time in nature and connect to the animals around you. Stop and listen to listen to their chatter, music, song, and dance. They will share messages of healing and wisdom whenever you choose to listen. Connect to your power animal for guidance. It has messages for you now. Focus on this card. And I like to do this, kind of look at it. I know what popped out at me for your guys' reading, but you can always look at what pops out for you specifically. And then there's, in this, it says, okay, so if you were drawn to the bear, it represents hibernation, strength and confidence, and challenges ahead. So that, to me, speaks of like recuperation, gathering your energy before maybe dealing with some challenging energies ahead. So if you did focus on the bear, maybe that means, you know, you're regaining some strength, some energy, so that you can protect or stand up for something you believe in. Or the bear is a very, I always think the mama bear energy, like protective. And then the hibernation, the retreating to kind of gather, like the hibernation, gather the strength for like what's to come. The wolf is seeing the truth. Be cautious. Follow your intuition. Now that's what I was feeling with the sacred wisdom over here with the owl, is that there may be some things here, you know, you're trying to kind of get through some earthly matters, earthly energies, but you're really tapping into the unseen, the unknown to get through those earthly energies. And it's really about using that discernment and that intuition and your knowledge of what you've already experienced and already learned to really decide kind of how you're going to, how do I put this? How you're going to kind of, I don't want to say act, but be as the animal, or as the flesh, the being that we are in like how you're going to put that energy out there in the animal kingdom, in the world. The owl is higher wisdom, observation, dreaming, and transition. Deer, family, gentleness, unconditional love, and speed. Excuse me. Eagle, perspective, call to source, and patience. And the owl is in this other card too. So it's interesting. I didn't really see the owls. The owl's one of my spirit animals, but I didn't really see it in here popping out at me as much as the wolf and the deer, which represented seeing the truth, being cautious, following your intuition, and the deer representing family, gentleness, unconditional love, and speed. So really using that discernment and that intuition and that wisdom, maybe in a family situation, maybe something you're trying to figure out here in your earthly life, and, you know, through your connection to your higher self. So those are the two oracles from this deck. So I think what I'm going to do, and since the wolf was popping out at me, it's kind of, I'm, okay, this is the white light oracle, and there's a wolf on the back of these. And I just, actually, before I got ready for your guys' reading, I was like, I think I might use this deck today, but it's one of those that's like, it's very, oh, and then we got the sun. This is always a really nice card to get. It's beautiful. It's about seeing. It's about enlightenment. It's about, I will read it because I love the way this, it's Alana Fairchild is the creator of this. And it's a beautiful card, and it's number 16. The sun. And it's a 417 HD. This is also deals with sounds, vibrations. You can always go look up those tunes, tones, whatever you want to call them. It's all like sounds, vibrations. I'll have like hertzes and like yeah, there's a lot more to it, but for this card, it's a really nice card to get. And look at that, I pretty much opened right up to it. So I'm just going to read, I'm going to read the beginning, which is it kind of sums up the card, you guys. And it says, you are being healed from guilt and fear. Such emotions will no longer still your personal power or dissuade you from confidence, happiness, and realizing your own worth. No matter how unlikely it may seem, You are going to emerge from a spiritual winter into light and life. The divinely ordained time for your liberation, healing, and emergence is much closer than you realize. Abundant blessings are stirring and shall soon manifest. I love that. And usually at the very end, here we'll talk about the frequency a little. The frequency of 417Hz is a spiritual truth serum. And that's what I kind of was getting here too with the sacred wisdom and the animal kingdom. There could be like a really spiritual truth about your existence or your reason for being, or like a kind of an awareness or an awakening to like why you're here, and like kind of your natural normal energy, like your natural vibration, your natural your truth. So it undoes false perceptions, and this could be within the family or within a situation in the family too, where it's kind of sun, and it's kind of reminding me of the sun card. Obviously it's called the sun, but how the sun is illuminating and it's yet protective, and it's clarity, it's clear but yet optimistic, and that's really nice. It's a good energy I'm getting here, fire signs. When a challenging situation is helping the soul to grow, this frequency will help you understand how to work through it in a soul-centered way, staying connected to the light within. And I was feeling that like with the animal kingdom, like getting wrapped up in kind of like our flesh, our being of being here on this earth, and then taking the part of us that's connected to the unearthly, the unearthed energy. It doesn't mean we aren't on this earth, part of this earth, but there's other energies that aren't of this earth that are always they're of the universe, they're of other dimensions, realms, however you feel it is kind of how you need to take it. It's a big picture energy I'm getting. When a challenging, I read that. If a situation such as a toxic relationship is creating a barrier between the soul and the light, weakening its ability to evolve and causing it to become stuck in trauma and negative patterns, this frequency will dismantle the negative circumstances. So if you find yourself in like a toxic cycle or a kind of negative energy you keep going back to here on the earth plane, taking it up to a higher vibration and kind of recognizing it kind of for what it is, will help raise your vibration and kind of get you out of that stuck kind of cycle. And it does say traumatic, so it could be like like it's just a kind of darker maybe energy that kind of comes in and just just nags at you, and there is healing when that kind of energy comes in, because there's some understanding that, or a change in perception or something that needs to happen to feel it differently. I was talking about this with my kid and my kids and my family, and like a week ago, about how I was kind of trying to explain how I feel. Get down. How we kind of pull memories from our past. This is kind of part of the healing and the kind of moving forward that I feel like everybody on it right now in this path and this stream of energy is doing, is kind of retrieving those memories. I kind of call it a soul retrieval. That's kind of what it's been kind of over the years kind of explained kind of as, but it's more like you're retrieving your memories and you're changing your perception and understanding and compassion and forgiveness for those situations. It doesn't mean you don't feel a certain way when you think about it, but you can look at it from a bigger picture to make it more understandable and more not just understandable, kind of understandable. Like if you had a lot of traumatic things, or you felt, and it doesn't matter what it is. It could be to somebody else, it could seem small. To you, it could seem really big, but it didn't feel good, and those are triggers, and those are things that come up in our lives. And when we pull those memories back and go, why did that happen to me? Or why did that person say that to me? And it hurt so bad. Well, it hurt because it hurt. Because there's something, of course, we all want to be loved, accepted, acknowledged, I mean, there's so many feelings that go behind us putting our self-worth in other people's words and other people's actions, which we learn through time. We have to do that for ourselves, but we count on other people to kind of help us along, not kind of like hold us back, hinder us, or put us in a place where it's hard to grow. But sometimes I feel like things are hard to grow, like through our lives, because we're meant to be strong, and like it makes us stronger. And as much as it's like I hear that, well, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, it's kind of the truth. And it's not just the physical killing. It's like sometimes it just feels like, man, I could just use a little help right now. I could just use somebody to pat me on the back. I could just use a little uplift right now. But it's like, and maybe it doesn't come along, and because we need to learn to do that for ourselves. And usually that's a lesson in self-worth and acknowledging yourself in a really, really nurturing, understanding, kind of motherly way. I was feeling that with this bear, that mama bear, kind of that, that protection that we need to learn to do for ourselves also. That's a lot of the energy I kind of try to translate through a lot of my readings, is just the self-work. And it's all about, how we look at things, and how we look at things can help us kind of understand, forgive, and empathize with the situations that we've kind of allowed to trigger us and make us kind of maybe even narrow-minded, or even like one-sided about certain things in life, when it's with a different perspective, or lots of different perspectives, or lots of different ways of looking at it. We become more open-minded, we become more expansive, and we become more easily connected to even things that we thought maybe we would never understand. So it's really good. That's kind of that's the message I'm getting. So it says you always have free will, but your capacity to exercise that free will in a self-loving way will become more available to you. Oh, that's nice. And this is facilitates a healing shift. So, maybe go look up the 417HZ, and I don't know which ones are like, but they usually have like a whole bunch of them you can pick from, but they're all like a little different. But sometimes they have like the pure 417HZ sounds, and it's usually just like tone. But it's, and I feel this when I do my bowl and stuff. It's like, sometimes there's just a certain tone that it helps you tap into certain energy, within yourself. And I really am a believer in sound and vibration, and that's how you feel all this. That's how I'm able to do this. That's how we're all able to tap into other people's, that empathic part of ourselves that we kind of don't understand all the time, where we can kind of feel other people's vibes, so to say. But this frequency helps wipe away experiences of alienation and reestablish a deep and loving connection with the universe. It cleanses traumatic experiences and memories, and any malignment habits formed as a consequence of past pain. And that's what I was talking about, how we kind of, maybe sometimes we cut ourselves off, or we completely like shut down a certain area. And I've been getting this message, you guys, through readings, is like, it's neither you need to go too far this way or too far this way. There is a balance in between, and I'm feeling that between like the earth and this like outer earth. I don't even know if I can, it's just like much more big, and then we got this earth energy, but this is big to us because we live here. But there's so much more energy we can tap into that will help us make better use time of our energy here on this earth, is kind of the message I'm getting. So that was kind of a long little message. With those cards usually do. That's why I don't usually draw them during readings, because they are they give me a lot of messages. They give me a lot of things I want to talk about. Oh, and then this just came in. Attraction, magnetism. And we will read that. That just kind of fell out. 37. Know your values and needs so you are more aware of what your true attractions are. Do not run with the herd. Notice what or who you attract. Is this your intent? there is always nemesis, opposite energy to any endeavor you might take. This should not bother you, as it is a natural law. And that's kind of what I was talking about, how everybody's kind of, we're all on different paths, and we're all, not different paths, kind of different ways of getting kind of where we're going. But at the same time, there's like just this need to really find your own way. And that's kind of what I was feeling when I was talking about, like, sometimes it feels like, oh, I just could use some of this help or somebody to, you know, it's kind of about learning your own way and learning what helps you, what heals you, what helps you move forward, what makes you look at things differently. What kind of process do you have to go through to understand these kind of vibrations and these kind of feelings and these kind of emotions, and how we deal with those here on the earth. I'm feeling this this kind of learning and kind of growing into how to really not just be, it's like that balance between just being like an animal and then being like the spiritual being. Like, that's the energy I'm getting. So that's really nice, guys. We're going to look at the tarot cards I drew for you guys now. We got for Sagittarius, the High Priestess. This is that high knowing. This is that sacred wisdom. This is following your intuition. This is knowing something that you may even, you're just feeling it. I mean, there's a lot of, it's like feeling yourself. It's like you're feeling the universe. You're feeling something calling you. You know, sometimes we don't understand why exactly we're being called a certain place or a certain, down a certain, I call it the rabbit hole. Like when I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, look that up, like Google that or something. And the next thing you know, I'm like, I'm finding out things about like my roots, my ancestry. I'm starting to understand and see different people's perspectives and different people's just ways of looking at everything. And it's just the High Priestess energy kind of just knows that everybody's got their different paths and everybody's got their different secret knowledge, and you know, they can share or they cannot share. That is completely up to them and their guidance. So that is your guys' card. And then we got, for Aries, it was the Three of Cups. So there may be some relationship issues that Aries energy is dealing with, where it may not be coming necessarily together. You may be having a little bit of, and that could be this earthly energy and trying to really, and was feeling that deer in it, and it did bring in the family. What was it? The family. That's where I'm feeling, you guys, is it that wolf is seeing the truth, being cautious, following your intuition. So this could be just all around, like, and this could be, you know, dealing with a family member or dealing with a friend circle or something like that for all you fire signs. But where Sagittarius may be more following their intuition, Aries is like, I don't want really to maybe I'm having a hard time understanding this, or a hard time being a part of this, or a hard time like integrating myself into this group or into this, or reconnecting with, this could be like a reconnecting with friends, family. But it's also that deer, it's family, gentleness, and unconditional love and speed. So there is a, you know, you have to follow your intuition on this, Aries. If you're asking yourself about a friendship or a relationship, or if you want to work, put your emotional self, your, not just emotional self either, it's like put your, even your intuition into a situation. Maybe you're just having a hard time. And then we got the King of Cups over here under Leo. And this is being in control of your emotions and yet knowing, and there is a very intuitive energy to the King of Cups. He knows that emotions play a huge part. And he's there to listen to others, and he's also a leader, a teacher. You could actually be really helping even a situation come together here on this earth, with a family situation, a friend situation, a group situation. And you're kind of following your intuition, but yet it's really nice to have that person that kind of knows it's an emotional situation, but yet is it's not withdrawn, it's just knows, this kind of energy knows when to help, how to help, when it's like, when the emotions need logic and when the logic needs emotions. Very learned emotional energy, water energy. So that's very sacred wisdom too. Like that's definitely that King of Cups too. So that's a very masculine energy. And then we got the High Priestess over here too. So altogether, these 3 cards, you guys, for your guys' reading, is telling me that somewhere in the collective fire energy, there is a knowing about some kind of friend, family situation that's kind of requiring this balance between this emotional, and by emotional, I mean also like this higher, like it isn't even necessarily emotional, it's just a knowing, that there's something earthly kind of sensitive here. Earthly, like, you know, animals are like creatures of habit. And I feel like there's a knowing that sometimes those habits or sometimes those thick patterns or stuff that we get into aren't really in alignment with who we are. And we need to understand what is in alignment with us and what isn't. So there may be something that you just know isn't in alignment with you, or it is, and you need to, and we're going to pull a card on that to maybe get a little advice here. We're going to pull one from the Inner Child Oracle. Or no, this is Through the Looking Glass, excuse me. And actually, let's see, it looks like I'm getting 2. The Sun. I love this, though. There's going to be some clarity coming in for you guys. Oh, perfection. You are perfectly designed with love. You are exactly where you need to be. See the beauty and symmetry everywhere. I love that. There is like some kind of like comforting energy here for you guys, fire signs. And then wake up. There's like all these people have their eyes shut. They're like really deep into maybe this earthly stuff where there's a kind of a awakening happening with the higher self and the knowing that maybe there's been a little too much focus on like maybe being a part of something that you kind of feel like, hey, you know, it matters, but it doesn't matter as much as like what I am really trying to do here, which is like whatever it is you're trying to create or whatever you're trying to become a part of, whatever you're trying to attract in your life and whatever you want, whatever you find yourself being drawn to is like so much bigger than just like, so if it's like some kind of situation where, you know, I'm feeling like it says unconscious or patterned thinking. What are you not seeing? Karmic lessons. Time to check yourself. There's definitely something either in a family situation or friend situation or something where you just really need to follow your intuition, fire signs, because there's something, some kind of earthly habit that's been formed because we are earthlings and we are animals and we have a way of like dealing with emotional stuff and trauma and stuff where it's just something needs to happen here where you just really either cut some of that emotional stuff out and become a little more logical about it, or you just, and I'm just getting that intuition, like, you know, you want something, or maybe you don't, but I'm feeling more like you want to connect to something, or you want to attract something, or you want to be a part of something that you know you're a part of, but yet there's like this kind of stubbornness of not wanting to like emotionally or like spiritually kind of contribute to this. But Spirit's coming in as your advice and saying, wake up. You're perfect. You're right where you're supposed to be. See the beauty. Don't just see the negativity in the situation. But also, you know, look at yourself. Open up your eyes. This is Through the Looking Glass. And see the sun, see the beauty, and know that I want to read this card again. You guys, it's really nice. So there's just a really nice understanding coming in here if you allow it, of being part of something you want to be a part of, and maybe opening your eyes to like where you play a part in that and how you can come in a very balanced, emotional and logical way with your higher knowledge and your wisdom and your intuition still intact, where it isn't just fully animalistic, it isn't just fully patterned, but there's also, even though this is geometric patterning, which is also just a different kind of pattern, but there's a balance between these two, I'm feeling. So let's see, I'm going to read that thing again. This card 16. You are being healed from guilt and fear. Such emotions will no longer still your personal power or dissuade you from confidence, happiness, and realizing your own worth. Really coming in, knowing, hey, you know, maybe you've made a pattern of not recognizing like that everything is like kind of balanced, even if it doesn't feel balanced. And that means in yourself too. No matter how unlikely it may seem, you are going to emerge from a spiritual winter into light and life. Ooh, and I was feeling that kind of like conserving energy for like that spring energy. I feel like spring for the fire signs is going to be a really nice time coming in, because I feel like this winter there is going to be a lot of healing for the fire energy right here. The divinely ordained time for your liberation, healing, and emergence is much closer than you realize. Abundant blessings are stirring and shall soon manifest. So it's just really about staying connected to what you want to be connected to, being a part of the things you want to be a part of, knowing what you're attracting with your own energy, with your own the way you bring yourself to the earth, the way you bring yourself to your family, you know, and I am feeling that family energy, and or friends, or just your circle, you know, that's what I'm feeling. Perfection, wake up. There's something really nice here that needs to be seen and acknowledged, and maybe that's part of some kind of lesson you need to look at, about maybe you've had a hard time seeing maybe the beauty of the things on this earth, or the beauty of the things of not of this earth. Could go I'm feeling this both ways, you guys, so this could go either way, but I am feeling it. So that's your guys' reading. I appreciate you guys coming to your reading. I hope that helps somebody. I appreciate your likes, your subscribes, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your month. I'll try to get another reading out before the end of December, but we'll see. So we'll talk to you later.